everyone, it's Cindy here with Chess Girl Vegas. I wanted to review this match with you. It was intense. This is the end of it. I did get the win, but again, it was a rather intense game, and I was down two. I was down 2 pawns, and was able to get the win with tactics. Yeah, and it would have been a maiden one right here. I planned on, okay, so my opponent was in check. My opponent would have had to either move here, would have had to move here, not there, obviously, because the rook was there on the g file. But so once my opponent moved there, I would have just gone here, and that would have been a checkmate right there. But let's get through the match super fast. I hope everyone's doing great. It's Tuesday, it's April 29th. Nice day in Vegas. That's where I live near the airport, live near the Strip. It's a fun place to live. Really hot summers, really nice spring. Fall's pretty nice, gets a little cold. Sometimes it's cold in early spring. The winter's chilly, we have to wear coats. We rarely get snow. Some windy days here, some rain days, but overall it's nice. It's about a 4-hour drive to Los Angeles. 4.5 hours. Good airport. And that's where I've lived since I was just a little baby, a couple months old. Took up chess about 4 years ago, and here we are with the game. Opening up with king's pawn, and my opponent replies. E5 is a book move. Establishes presence in the center. This is center of the board. You know, these squares in here are the center. This is the absolute center right here, you know, three files on either side. So these are the, you know, the sweet spot, the bullseye, the center. Next move, I do the bishop. I do the bishop's opening. Normally I just bring this one out, the knights, but I decided to go for the bishop. I always like this bishop opening move. I don't do it very often, but I like it. I used to do it more. Brought the knight out, said it was a book move. Could have also defended with this. I'm pretty sure it'll say this is a book move too. See how fast, yeah, book move. Okay, up point 13. White has a teeny tiny advantage just because it's, okay, all right, so the better move is to push the pawn. Okay, that's only 0.05. 0.05. So, all right, good to know. So next time I'm going to just push the queen's pawn up. Yeah, I guess I figure the more I review some of these matches, the more I'll learn more of the nuances and, you know, pawns are such a big deal, your pawn structure. Okay, and here I did that. It was an excellent move. As you can see, this is a negative number. It's 0.07. It said it was an excellent move, but right now black is doing a little better. So let's just see. I did this move to prevent this. That was the sole reason behind that move for me. Let's just see what happens if we go here. Okay, hold on. That came out. I went there. But if I had gone here, what would this have been? Okay, here. Okay, developing the knight, increasing influence in the center. Okay, and here was white would still have a slight advantage. So, okay, so that's a better move for me to go towards the center. All right. I bring the knight out. I develop towards the center. This kicks my bishop. Must act or be captured. Okay, they said that was a good move, and it was the best move. This comes down, defending that pawn. Okay, wanted me to only go up there, defending this pawn. So right here, I just like fought for, you know, control of this area. That's what I was trying to do here, but it said to just go one. Okay, all right. Again, let's just see how much of, okay, what is this? Okay, so if I went here, I would be up 0.24. What I did was this, and it's just basically an equal game. So, wow, all these these nuances and fine tuning of the position, just it's still very close, but if I had done this, I have a stronger position. That's like grandmaster level, right? Just to do this move versus what I did. The engine's saying it's the best move. So these things I have to, okay, the chess engine did not like this move by black. It's an inaccuracy. Said overlooks an opportunity to kick a knight, which was true because it could have, you know, it's attacking. Well, this is guarded by that, but this was being kicked by that. So let's just go back here. Okay, so what it wanted to do was kick this knight right here on c3 with the pawn. Okay, I went up. Okay. The reason I went up here was if this captures my knight, I wanted to capture back with my bishop and not destroy my pawn structure by doubling up a pawn, but didn't like that. It says you overlooked an opportunity to force a weak, isolated pawn, okay? Which would have been this pawn right here. So basically what it wanted me to do was just to come up, because the knight's guarded, right? It is guarded. It's just a matter of getting a doubled up pawn here. So now this has to either take or be taken. And if this takes again, then I could use this knight and recapture. Let's see what it, okay, took with the rook, okay. Alright, yeah, and this queen is guarding this pawn, and that's guarding that. Alright, so let's hide that. Yeah, so if this was to take, yeah, okay. Gets a little confusing when you run through the scenarios. Yeah, I just moved it for personal choice. Obviously, if the knight took my bishop, I would have recaptured with my pawn. I would again have doubled up pawns on the c-file. It said it was an excellent move, but the better move was to go after this pawn here. I go back challenging the queen. Now this is a move that, okay, so I got a tempo on the queen, but what it wanted me to do was push the pawn up 2 because it's guarded by this. This pawn on h3 is guarding the pawn on g4. It's not actually attacking anything. It's just there. Now, it's not like attacking the queen or anything. Now, there was always like this threat from the knight, but I had the pawn here where I could capture, and then I would have a rook on, this f-file pretty strongly. Yeah, and the bishop is guarding that square. The queen is guarding that square. My queen is guarding that square. This pawn is guarding this square, so is a defender of it. So I have 2 defenders for this square, and there's 2 attackers that I see. And I don't see any other attackers yet of this. Now, if the knight retreats, it would be a 3rd one. So queen's forced to move. I come up 2. It said I'm going to lose a pawn this way. Okay. This came down and I completely forgot about this. I completely forgot about this when I pushed that pawn. I go here. I did have a great move. I'm attacking the queen. I'm guarding this. Okay, it comes down. I go there. Didn't really like it. This comes over. Okay, gives me a check. I evade the check, said it was, and I'm down 2 pawns here at this point, and the eval bar says black is up 1.61. So the negative number relates to black, a positive number relates to the white pieces. And you can see the eval bar, how much it's in favor of black. Kind of looks darkish brown, but this is the black color. Yeah, on my screen this looks a little dark brown, whereas the black looks more blacker when it's on the board. But anyways, okay, so this bishop moves because I could have captured it. I go after the bishop here. Bishop moves again. Yeah, the bishop could have taken, and I did see this. I did see this like weak spot, and I kind of wondered why. I did wonder why that happened. Why black didn't just take. Okay, you attack a knight, which is this piece, and I'm also guarding this knight a little bit. Now I have two defenders guarding this knight, and I'm attacking my opponent's knight. Queen comes over to guard the knight. Queen to e5. This is the e5 square, everybody. The e file, 5th rank, e5. Okay. This defends a vulnerable knight by pinning one of its attackers. So it's pinning an attacker. Yeah. So the pin is right here. The rook. If I move the rook anywhere, that's game over, checkmate. And in fact, the system won't even let me do it. I'll show you. I'll show you, watch. For anybody new on chess.com, you can't, or new to chess, you can't, if moving a piece would cause a checkmate, you can't even make the move. It's not a legal move. So see, look, I can't, it won't let me do it. It won't let me do it. It would let me do this, see, but it won't let me move this rook because it's pinned to the king. Alright, so let's see what the next move is. I bring the queen up. It was the best move. And what you want to shoot for are these best moves, great moves, brilliant moves. If you can, obviously. You can't predict them, but you try to make the best moves possible, and you try to not make blunders and mistakes. So this knight moves. It is attacking my queen, and I have to figure out what to do to still guard my rook. I went down. Didn't like that move. Said queen to g3 is best. Yeah, I see that. And I kind of wonder why I didn't do that, because then I could have tried to put some pressure on the knight. Not sure why I didn't just go there, but I went here. Okay, h6 is a miss. Queen takes b2 is better. Yeah, this was hanging, this pawn. Okay, says I have a great move here. I'm really challenging the queen, attacking it. My rook is guarded by my queen. My knight is guarded by my rook. My pawn is guarded by my knight and my rook. In case this were to come, I could go there. Or if this took, I could take, you know. So even though my king is very exposed, and then also if this comes to here, I could either take back with the knight, or I could take back with the pawn, or I could take back with queen. Okay, queen backs up. And now, what was the deal before that move? Okay, so I'm actually up here on the eval. Even though I'm down 2 pawns, the current position I'm in favors white. And now white has even a better advantage. Look how much white. So everybody, when you play your matches, even if you're down a couple points or a piece, like a minor piece and a pawn, or even maybe a major piece and a pawn or something, it all depends on where your pieces are on the board. You can still win matches. You can still win your match. Keep fighting until there's no more fight left. So now I went here to attack the queen again. But it said f6 is best, so says I should have gone there. Let's just see what happens there. That's the best move. I would assume that white would probably take. Let's see what the chess engine would have done here. Oh, by the way, I watched David Howe this morning play Title Tuesday. I watched a little bit of it, and just, a few moments here and there. And then I watched Hans Niemann playing Title Tuesday for a few minutes. So you can get so much from these players as to what their thought process is and everything. So I'm just curious, is this the best move, doing this right here? Not entirely sure, but is this the best move? Yeah, that's the best move. Okay. I would probably... I mean, I could attack the queen here. How did that look? Okay, rook to e1 is best. Rook e1. So this rook, maybe? Yeah, that rook. Okay. Alright, so with this current board setup the way it is, even against the Super Chess Engine 3200 rated, white, even being down 2 points, white still has the advantage by about 5 points on the eval. Okay. Alright, so here we are. Let's get back. I did actually find bringing that rook over. Okay, and this I found, I didn't like this move too much, but see, I have a pin. This pawn can't take the knight. It wanted me to push the pawn up. I decide to just check. Okay, says it's a miss. Bishop to d5 is best. B to d5. So it wanted me to go here. Yeah, I did actually see this move. But I just thought like maybe the bishop would come or the knight would come. I was toying around with this move for a little while on the pin, because I knew I was like going after the rook too. Okay. I think I saw that d5 move like around here. B takes g7 is best. Okay, so B takes g7 is best. So here it wants me to take this piece. Wait, B takes e8 is a miss. So that's a miss. Okay. They didn't want the bishop taking that. They wanted the queen taking that. Okay, and then it wants me wants me instead of f6. Alright, well, getting a little confusing here. This is the match, by the way. And again, the pawn can't take because of the queen here, the pin. Okay, I gave a check. I was a little at risk, potentially, of a threefold. And that's when I decided to do this. And my opponent resigned. So the king is in check. He can't move here. He can only move there. Once he moves there, I bring the queen here. And get the win. Alright, let's do a puzzle. Saw a couple interesting things on that review. See if I can get a puzzle right. Black to move. Okay, I have 3 heavy pieces on the F file. Looks a little scary. Lots of check. This will come down. That's another check. And I still have a rook there, so I believe this is, and I can't take like this because of this pin, see? So let's do this. So you all understand this, right? Normally I could take this thing, but since the king is here, I can't with this rook here. So let's go check. There's usually a twist to all this stuff, but I'm just going to take, try to figure out what the twist is. Well, I think this is the move. Pretty fun. Okay, good. Nice. We can redo it for a quick second if you want. Again, remember I couldn't take this because of this. And this will be a factor once we get to the end of the puzzle. I'm going to take. Now there's no more pin. I can now take the queen, and now I'm going to go into the endgame up a rook against all these pawns. Let's do a little rook practice with pawns. Now this, I'm going to tell you something. The chess engine's going to play this perfectly. So even though you have a rook, and you should be able to win it, see, it guarded this square. I can't get there, there, or there. So I'm probably going to move here. Okay, I could move 2 here. Go 2. It didn't take. See? It elected not to take. That's why pawns are so tricky. So very tricky. Yeah, I'm just going to try to go there to check. Said it was excellent. Just gonna grab this one. Oh well. let it have my rook. Yeah, probably a lot of ways to win this from here. I'll just take the pawn just for the heck of it. Get in here. Yeah, so like the ladder made is cool, but it's just going to keep like moving this way. So I have to line everything up. And then I'm just going to go like that. Checkmate. Alright, thanks for watching everyone. I'm going to end it here. Have a great day. Bye-bye.